So hi everyone, this is Bruno Souza for Code for Life, and I'm here with a good friend, an amazing person. He's a Java champion, he's a DevOps specialist, he's the leader of the San Diego Java user group, and he's also a Star Trek fan, as you can see here. You know, which I try to frame the things, not getting so many Star Trek things, because if you look around, there's so many around his house. So I'm here with Paul Weber. So hi Paul.
Hey.
Thanks very much for having me here in your house.
Yeah, welcome Bruno.
Thanks. It's great to be here for the first time in San Diego. So Paul, you are an accomplished Java developer for many years. What did you do in your life that actually that made a difference, that put you where you are right now?
Well, that's an interesting question because it's I've had a varied and interesting life, career here. Basically, I'll go back to the days of small talk, which is when I came to San Diego.
Cool.
And that was pre-Java. So back in the late 80s, I guess. I'm working for General Dynamics Space Systems Division. So, Star Trek, space, kind of go together.
Yeah.
But after Small Talk's heyday, we started developing in Java. And that's where General Dynamics left San Diego, and I kind of put up a shingle of different domains to play with Java in. So I've been in the biotech industry, which is fairly large here in San Diego. I've been in education. I actually taught Java at UCSD extension courses. And then I got involved with teaching kids how to program. So through the extension course, I met an elderly man working on his third startup company, which was basically a school to teach kids in high school, middle school how to program in Java. So I basically taught him so he could teach kids, and then he shanghaied me into teaching kids and helped him develop the company. Now it's been rebranded the League of Amazing Programmers.
That's nice.
Yeah. And it's pretty strong here in San Diego.
Cool. So one of the things that people actually, a lot of Java champs, a lot of Java developers can get involved with teaching kids, like because they're teaching their kids and things like that. You're actually doing this professionally.
Right. Or at least on the side.
Right, yeah, on the side. That's okay.
Yeah, the model was getting volunteer professionals, and I started running the Java users group like back in 2001, and so I basically had a network of people who would come to the group and talk about helping out kids, and people became interested, and so we have a pretty much a good cadre in San Diego. These volunteer instructors, basically people who have real world experience, and then try to teach a sixth grader how to program. And it's really exciting. It's really valuable. I think that the lesson learned from that is teaching adults, they question everything and challenge you. Teaching kids, they just believe it, and they'll go on the keyboard and start typing away. So it's like, hey, this is great. And usually it works. So
that's pretty cool. And so from all, you had all this varied career. Is there anything that you did in your career that you say, man, after I've done that, my career blossomed, or I fulfilled what I wanted to do? Is there like one thing that you did, or?
Well, from just a professional sense, it wasn't actually anything to do with the domain. I mean, programming was the thing to do, and it still is. I still really enjoy it. But it was at one point where I was, between companies. I had like 2 contract jobs going on, working from home. I just got off a company from the San Jose area, but working from home for 3 years, back when telecommuting was just starting. So it was like, at the top of your game where you're desired by everybody, and you're getting to pick and choose stuff. So that was a very amazing time, very powerful. Now I'm working for a medical device company, as Bruno indicated. I'm the DevOps manager, the team lead. And it's kind of a different industry. It's a medical device company, but we collect data from all over the world and process that on our site. So DevOps is in charge of the pipelining and how the program gets deployed, of course, and also a little bit on how that data gets in and filters through the system.
Cool. Very, very, and you think that's, this whole discussion of DevOps, do you think that's why it's important for developers, especially for Java developers, to be involved on the whole process of delivering application, because that's what DevOps is, right?
Right.
Together you're delivering applications faster, right? So why do you think developers have to be involved with that instead of just letting the ops guys do it?
Yeah, don't throw your stuff over the wall.
Right.
Take it all the way. So yeah, DevOps is one of those terms that was formed, I guess, about 5 years ago. Somebody coined the term, and I think it's misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it really comes down to is that when you develop code, you need automation to take that code all the way to production, and you need the ability to understand when it breaks or when something goes wrong in production, which it does.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see various companies have their various ideas. Netflix has the no ops idea. LinkedIn, everybody's got their idea of what DevOps is.
Right.
It is a culture, though. It is not technology. The developers, I think, would benefit from knowing, when you do a Maven build or however you build your software, you package it up. How does it get deployed? How does it get configured? How does it operate once it's in the wild? Notoriously, log files are very verbose. And so now there's a whole segment of our industry of how to analyze log files.
Yes.
So say, okay. And developers are the ones that write those log files. So, you're putting in information that, you probably will never read unless, of course, you deploy and you operate your application. So, in a nutshell, it's like, it's your code. You should kind of understand and see how it's playing in the wild.
Okay, yes, take responsibility for your code all the way, right? It's not only about writing and putting in the repository, right?
Yeah.
Someone has to run your code and benefit from it, and until that, your job is not done.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So now, I've mentioned this before, and you are a Star Trek fan.
Yes. Don't say the other word.
Don't say the other word, right? Yes. No. Yes. Okay. And I was amazed that actually, you have a lot of things around Star Trek. But I wonder if did Star Trek made a difference in your developer career? I mean, is there anything that you learned on watching Star Trek or being a fan of Star Trek that actually helped you become who you are today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
I mean, Star Trek, and I go back to the original series, Captain Kirk, not the movies, but the old 60s episode. But it got carried on. So Gene Roddenberry, actually met Gene Roddenberry in college.
Cool.
He came around and gave a speech about Star Trek and
That's
the Star Trek
nice.
philosophy.
Uh-huh.
So a couple of things on that one. There are Trekkies and there are Trekkers. Trekkies are the ones who can quote all the films and quote all the words that people say.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's fun. Trekkers are more about the philosophy of Star Trek, which is where I go.
Cool. That's
But
nice.
I think that the aspect, the philosophy of Star Trek being that, people are generally good. We're explorers. We want to get out there and discover things and solve problems.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Star Trek universe, there was always a team of people. So you had Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, Dr. McCoy, and then the Next Generation, you had Picard, Riker, Data, Geordi, and then even on Deep Space Nine and Voyager, you had a core group of people working together. And I think that was the biggest thing that was always consistent is this collaboration. And in our field of software development, you can't just go it alone anymore. Things are way too complicated, or you can write a game, but then you got to talk to people how to get that game out there and get people playing it, or find out what the customer wants. Things like that. So I think that was the biggest thing is in the problem-solving arena, you are going to work with people, and that collaboration, how to work with them is nice. There will be conflicts.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's the captain, but there's always some guy who says the captain's wrong. And you go from there.
That's very cool, and that's a very good philosophy. When you take from the idea that all people are generally good, and you're working together to solve a common problem, and as you said, there will be conflict. Life is all based in conflict, and so. A lot of times we see people in the industry that kind of, they assume other people are doing it for evil or for for the money or to exploit people, all of that. And so a lot of confusion, a lot of miscommunication comes from, not assuming that people are generally good, right?
Yeah.
And then once you don't assume that, all collaboration falls apart, right? So I think that's a great philosophy to live by.
It's good, and you're right. You will. I mean, in your jobs and your career, find people who are sometimes more egocentric or more self-centered, and those people happen. But the majority, I think, are there. We're all working. Even the teams at ResMed, we're all trying to produce a product that's going to help change people's lives, make them sleep better, make them healthier. So we all have that ambition to do that, and that's what brings the people together. Work on a great product and have a great place to go to work.
Excellent. And with that, thanks a lot, Paul. That's an amazing message. And you that's watching us here, I know, take responsibility for your code all the way to the end, and learn how to work together with people, because that's what's going to make all the difference in your career.
Very good. All right. Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper. Thanks.
Thanks, Bruno.
Thanks, Paul. Excellent.
Sure.